I have grave concerns here in the center of Berlin at the Dorotheenstadt cemetery, which is probably the most prominent cemetery in the city. It has a lot of historic figures. It's not very big. Here we are at the grave of architect Schadow and sculptor. I've seen quite a few of his sculptures. They're beautiful. Look them up. Schadow is in the shadow here, so when I go to film his little statue on the top, it kind of goes dark, but he's really tucked away in the corner here for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about. And as you can see, this really is very much in the center. I'm surrounded by apartment buildings and restaurants. So I kind of started here on the south end of this cemetery, and we'll just work our way through quite a few really cool graves here. I don't know who all these people are. It's a long list of prominent people, mostly from the 19th century. Borsig, for example, I have no idea who he is, but really cool grave here. Kind of housed in this little cupola with a starry roof. Very romantic, and appropriately so, because Schinkel is in this graveyard as well. You can see a lot of shadow sculptures at the Friedrich Kirche, which is a fantastic church in the middle of Berlin, in the Mitte, which is kind of where I am, but it's like a mile from here. Here's the sculptor Rauch, Christian Daniel Rauch, 1857. Really nice relief on there, and a cool statue on top. Looking into people's apartments simultaneously. I don't mean to be. Karl Friedrich Rugenhagen, some kind of a professor, director of the, looks like, Music Academy, 1851. There's also an adjacent Huguenot cemetery here, which is pretty cool in and of itself. But right now, this is the star attraction. And since it's so small, there's really not a lot of room for more graves here, so if you got in back in the day, then you're in, but not so easy anymore. That's a cool one, 2017 Inga Keller. Yeah, it's hard to say who's the most prominent person here because it really depends on the field: architecture, art, philosophy, playwrights, authors. Johann Heinrich Strack. Roman numerals here, 1880. He's also in his little private temple. Christa Wolf, East German author, 2011. Said with her husband. You can see she's got the Grave of Honor marking from the city. Somewhere in here, it's all overgrown. We have Stefan Hermann, another East German writer. And he's got a little caged area here that's very filled with plants. I visited this a few years ago. That wasn't so much the case. I don't really want to be swinging this around all the time, so I'm just going to go up and down. There's prominent people behind me as well. That's a great looking statue. Brosh. Looks like Thomas Brosh. Great sculpture. Forgive me if I'm passing over somebody significant that interests you. Okay, let me swing around here. Because there's a great artist I just passed. He's sort of opposite Krista Wolf. And that's right here. John Heartfield. Look him up if you've never seen his work. A Dada artist. Did a lot of photo montage. If you ever get a chance to see his stuff in person, it's amazing. The precision with which he cut up photos and made new compositions. Mostly anti-Third Reich stuff. Very famous images of Hitler with his esophagus filled with gold coins. Various political images showing the Third Reich as a hyena. Powerful political stuff of the period. He survived the war, though I don't see his any dates here. That's kind of a unique stone too. John Heartfield. Günter Gauss, 2004. I saw him in the list, but I don't know who he is offhand. Look him up. I think he's another writer. This one sustained some damage here. There is some evident war damage here. 1938. Beautiful plants as always. Get some various fenced off family plots here. Like this one is kind of hard to read, it's all scripty. 1968. Zweig. Berman. I like the fences here. Beautiful color. And this kind of amphore replica. Look at these flowers. Bees buzzing in here too at Lothar Bisky's grave. Langhoff has a cool sculpture. Rudolf von Delbruck, 1903. Staatsminister. Heinrich Kochhahn, Stadtdaltester. Another from the same family. Beautiful relief on that one. This is close to the entrance now. See a family plot that looks kind of militaristic. Another crypt there which has some more damage on it. Maybe I'll come a little closer to that in a bit and we'll take a look at that. Reisner. Okay, here's Schinkel's stone. This is an exceptional stone. (1861). Look at the detail on the top of that. So he's primary architect here in Berlin. Look up his long list of buildings. He's a bit like Christopher Wren in London. You know, there's so many churches that Christopher Wren designed. I want to say Schinkel designed the Friedrich Kirche that I was referring to earlier, where a lot of Shadow's sculptures are. That's an old church that's been converted into a sculpture museum. And but that design is it's almost a Renaissance-looking church, even though it's from the 19th century. 1781 to 1861. But that motif on the top is fantastic. As is the family crypt behind it. I'm here on a Monday afternoon, so it's relatively quiet. But quite often, this place is bustling. Right now, I'm just running into a lot of groundskeepers and a few random folks. Here we get to see this Stargard family crypt. There is a Stargarder street. I don't know if there's any relation, but this has fantastic motif on the doors. Frieden and Ruhe, or Frieden. But look at the war damage here on the side. Some explosions nearby for sure. We've got a Martin Luther statue out front. Hopefully I can get through here before it rains. Got another storm coming through. This is a beautiful view here. Okay, here's a super prominent grave. Hegel. Look at all the stones on top. So he's been highly visited. So very important philosopher. Hegelian. German idealism. Dialectics. Not the most extensive stone though. Pretty modest stone here. The wife, Marie Hegel. Maiden name Tucher, Tucher. Johann Gottlieb Fichte. He's got a This whole row's got like the Grave of Honor marker. I don't know what this guy did. Be worth looking up and putting in the comments. I don't see the death date here either. Maybe it's on the other side or kind of worn, but probably very early 19th century. Who's this here? Anna Reinert, maiden name Hegel. Beautiful statue. A bit walled in over here. There's another one that was across from Hegel. Klentze, K-L-E-N-Z-E. Some kind of professor at the academy. So as many prominent people as we've seen, I'm now hitting probably the main attraction here, Bertolt Brecht, who has this really nice kind of corner plot against the wall, little small stone fence here, stone wall. Can't really read that. But somebody shares that plot with him and his wife. Across the way here from Brecht, I'm going to have to step back anyway. Is Borchardt, who has this full section here with this colonnade. Beautiful statues. Actually, you know, I want to get a closer look at Brecht, but I don't want to be swinging this around. I'm a bit in the sun here, but get a sense of this statue. Dr. Max Siegfried Borchardt and family. He's got a pretty cool profile. Again, a bit in the sun. Let that adjust a bit. Tough with the lighting against the sky. There we go. Interesting looking stone. Another grave of honor. Can't read it. Silberhalten is the name I see on the honor marker. There's a family plot here. Stuttmeister. Wenzel, Hermann Heinrich Alexander Wenzel, 1820. Albert Baum, Karl Baum, Hans Baum, architect. Not sure who this is. Looks very royal. Really worn out here. No help. Sometimes the cemetery puts updated markers there and such, but no such luck there. Get a closer look at Brecht and his wife. Heartfield. Christoph Wilhelm Heartfield. Heinrich Mann, 1950. Johannes Becker, 1958. There's some beautiful stones over here. Rene Greitz, 1974. Very cool stone. Karl Miko. It's a little bust. Nedi Radvani, Anna Segers, 1983. Hannes Eisler, Steffi Eisler. Reset this. Heinrich Gustav Magnus, 1870. There's a modernistic stone here for Martin. Not sure who that is, but he's got this void, a stamp on it. And these boxes. That's worth looking into. Don't know who it is though. Here I am behind Schinkel's grave. Gonna go into a section of lesser known folks, just because I've seen some interesting stones there. Johannes Schultz, pretty cool looking. 1869. Who this is all alone. That's a tough read. Looks like Walter. Peter Christoph Wilhelm Beuth, 1781 to 1853. Hobble. Conrad and Emil Hobble. It's a nice modern stone here. I like these stones with the holes in them that use light. In this case, a little piece of glass. We've seen gold leaf. Max. Looks like Spitza. Gold mosaic. 1902. Egon Bar, 2015. Nice sculpture. With some ceramic tile. There's some relations for Schadow. Behind me, I'm just sort of slowly working my way. A.D. Schadow, architect, 1889. J.S. Emil Schadow, 1853. H.W.C. Louise Schadow, 1868. Maybe, worth looking up in their own right. Philip Karl Bultmann, 1829. Beautiful reliefs here. Very neoclassical. And then there's this really odd sculpture here. I can get around to it slowly. Do the 360. Look at this thing. Johannes Grutzke, 2017, fairly recent. Something about him being a friend, a good friend. Nice diversity here. There's an interesting little set here. Sandberg, Professor Sandberg. Another Sandberg sculpture. This one's hard to read. Another handwritten one. And then I just about missed this one entirely. Heiner Müller, the playwright, has a fairly modest but modernist stone. You can barely see. I'm going to have to go right in on that. Another handwritten one here. It looks like Wolf Harris. And this font is pretty cool here. Werner Krauss, 1976. Typeface, I should say. August Bach, 1966. Doberstein. Look at this one. Heinrich. E-H-M-S-E-N. Emsen. Almost looks like some kind of Olympic thing. Not sure what that's all about. There's another one that was easy to miss. Really tucked in the corner here. Herbert Marcuse, 1979. Philosopher, Founder of the Frankfurt School. Look that up. Now I'm at the adjacent cemetery, Peter Louis Ravenna. Some big Roman numerals on there. Looks like 1793, written a little strange, to 1861. Very dramatic. And there's some nice looking stones in here. It's just got a lot of competition next door, so it doesn't get visited as often. Louis Ravenna. Must be related. 1879. One of these sorrowful 19th century sculptures, Mourning on the Urn. It looks 19th century, but it's 2017. How about that? That must have cost a bundle. Have that commission these days, holy cow. That is dramatic. I had to take another look at that from another angle. I see an interesting sculpture here. I don't know what this is. It's like a little goat or something. Oh, it's just a person. It's like the thinker. This is some interesting minor stuff. So I was talking about this. It just looked a little odd from the distance. Looks like some kind of horned creature, but it's just a person. But 1998, again, old-fashioned looking relief on there. Dieter Mann 2022. Nice blue letters. Little gold leaf, and then a film stone. So not the first time I'm seeing like a film strip integrated into the stone. 42 to 2020. Michael Gwizdek. Smells great here. Beautiful flowers. Holy cow. A lot of pollen in the air right now anyway. I love this old pale green color here. Ludwig Devrient. Franz Bendel, 1874. Kind of close to the edge of this place now. And we can actually see some stuff outside the cemetery. There's a really cool old building across the street. Just has great details. An old survivor. A Borsig, it says up top. I always gotta look at the tops of buildings like that. You can usually find years or some detail up there. And there's a bit of a statue. I don't know if you can see it at the base. It's like a little house statue. And then right next door, as maybe you can see, is the Brecht house, which I've never been in. So maybe that's some kind of a Brecht museum. I should check that out. There's some nice modernist statues here in this section. Klaus Geffe, and Elias Pipping, 2017. Family Crypt, Sarre, S-A-R-R-E. Not seen any years. This is an interesting, newer looking motif here from 2016. Sabri Hashim Abdullali. I like that outline. This is revolutionary. Writer and revolutionary from Basra to Berlin. So interesting. Worth looking up. Some Iraqi who moved to Berlin. But I love that outline. That's really distinct. And as I get towards the entrance / exit, there's just a nice old traditional stone here for Karl Steffek, Professor, 1890.